JLU International Festival of Media and Design, curated and organized by the Faculty of Journalism and Creative Studies, JagranLakecity University, is a manifestation of establishing an immediate connection between students, academia, and practitioners around media industry. It draws its energy from the big ideal of the Faculty of Journalism and Creative Studies that says world would be a better place if we encourage big ideas and creativity and create an ecosystem to convert those creative ideas into defining changes and tell better stories. This and other thoughts pivoted the organization of the 6th edition of JLU International Festival of Media and Design between 16th and 18th March on the theme People, Communication and Trust, Decoding Media in the Phygital World. The 3-day festival featured 24 keynote speakers, wherein there were 7 masterclasses, 6 keynote speeches, 4 fireside chats, and a panel discussion. They were held to connect and engage the students with best practitioners and thinkers in the industry who excel and lead in diverse media spaces. The festival started with the fireside chat with Mr. Atul Kasbekar, ace photographer, film producer and director. Throughout his chat, he emphasized on the unique perspective that needs to stand out in photography and that one should always be greedy for good energy.
But if you want to be here and you want to be good, you need to have as many facets and dimensions in your brain that will come into play in some subliminal, unconscious form, and that brings in your art.
The students studying design at the Faculty of Journalism and Creative Studies put together an exhibition and various installations to showcase their engagement with and understand issues of space, site, location, situation, and the whole immersive experience of design. This was applauded hugely by all the speakers and participants at the festival. On the second day, Ms. Jyoti Malhotra, editor, National and Strategic Affairs, The Print, addressed the students on the topic how the phygital world is changing the idea of news and how trust and facts have become even more important. She advised all to consume news from variety of sources because trust is paramount.
And how do you trust the news? So the first is that you ask the other side, and you have to keep reading and rereading your information. And in a way, when the news comes to you from all sides, in a way, it's a good thing. Because then you're learning, when you read, you learn to sift the news from the not news, or the news from the fake news. Pata chal jayega tumhe.
Following this, India's leading rural marketing and development communication expert, Mr. Rajkumar Jha, gave a keynote address on designing communication for rural consumers in an increasingly phygital world. He captivated the audience with some profound observations and insights.
So when you know your person, then you know what to communicate, how much words, which kind of words will work, which kind of words will not work. Okay? और इसमें जैसा मैं बार बार कह रहा हूँ, इसमें भाषा, शब्द, sentences, इनके मुझे अपने मायने खुद ढूंढ लेंगे. They will find their own way. There are times when you don't even write.
In the inaugural session, Mr. T.M. Veera Raghav, Executive Editor BQ Prime, was the keynote speaker. He spoke about geopolitics, media ownership patterns, and media conversions. He also gave advice to all the budding journalists and new age communicators.
We are moving into an area where you verify first and then start trusting. Because information is going to hit you at an enormous pace, right? So you verify that information before you even begin to think of whether you trust it. And once you trust it, you don't believe that that trust is eternal. You've got to constantly keep verifying that information.
Pro-Chancellor of JagranLakecity University, Mr. Abhishek Mohan Gupta, Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dr. Sandeep Shastri, Registrar, Dr. Vivek Khare, and Dean of Faculty of Journalism and Creative Studies, Professor Divakar Shukla, also marked their presence in the inaugural session. The second edition of Comma, a student-led quarterly newspaper, was also launched during the ceremony.
Comma is a stimulation of an actual newspaper, and as the name linguistically suggests, pause. So it would be right to say that comma is a pause with a perspective.
Post-lunch session started with the fireside chat between world's leading animators, Mr. Suresh Airyat and Mr. Ashish Kulkarni. It was one of the best sessions in this year's edition of the festival. Members of the audience were completely engaged with and enthralled by their outstanding work and by the insights and lessons from creative visual storytelling. It was an absolutely amazing peek into the animation industry.
And if you have this fundamental knowledge of a skill and where you excel in it, you can excel in any software. Any tool, because software is ultimately, we all look at it as tool. Your vision is what makes it work. Your pencil, you may work with a Lamy, you may work with Mont Blanc, whatever pen you may use, but if you don't know writing, what good it is.
The second day of the festival ended with 4 parallel masterclasses by Mr. Rishi Deshpande, filmmaker, Ms. Sushma Gaikwad, co-founder of Viscraft MIME, Mr. Gautam Patki, founder, licensed to shoot photography, and Mr. Siddharth Majumdar, content lead, design, Chegg INC. The evening of the second day saw cultural performances by the students of the dance club, accompanied by the groovy rhythms of the music club that refreshed the audience. The third day of the 6th edition of JLU International Festival of Media and Design commenced with a fireside chat by Mr. Sanjoy Roy, MD of Teamworks and founder of the Jaipur Literature Festival, and Ms. Sushma Gaikwad, co-founder of Viscraft MIME. Mr. Sanjoy Roy shared crucial insights from his journey. The guest speakers also spoke about developing 360-degree experiences and what constitutes art.
Because you guys are being taught to think out of the box. And if you think out of the box, you can innovate. And if you innovate, you can become entrepreneurs in your own right. You can create patents and you can create wealth and opportunity.
Mr. Sharan Singh, photography lead, Faculty of Journalism and Creative Studies, shared the story of a ghost town from the grounds of Joshimath.
And again, when you check out the porosity of this rock, I can break it into 2 pieces with my bare hand or by my foot. This is where the Joshimath lies. And over every day, the millions and tons of dynamite has been used by NTPC and railway projects to cut out the rock bed of Joshimath.
It was followed by the panel discussion that included eminent speakers like Mr. Atul Chaurasia, journalist News Laundry, Mr. Brajesh Rajput, principal correspondent ABP News, and Mr. Shailendra Tiwari, editor, Spotlight and Digital Head MP, Patrika Group. They discussed about the impact of digital platforms on the choice and quality of news and proactive digital journalism.
मल्टी इक्विप्ड होना बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, वरना लोग बाहर हो जाते हैं केवल एक आध स्किल ना होने की वजह से. आपको ऑडियो की समझ होनी चाहिए, आपको विजुअल वीडियो की समझ होनी चाहिए, आपको प्रिंट की समझ होनी चाहिए। तीनों क्वालिटी आपके अंदर डेवलप करके इस तरह से आपने को इवॉल्व करना है। एक मल्टी फेसेटेड जर्नलिस्ट की जरूरत है।
Mr. Manish Vashisht, Program Director and Head of Indian Studios IBM, gave a keynote address on the topic, The Future of Design and its Ability to Provide Solutions to Pressing Challenges in the World, putting trust and credibility at the center. He took the audience through the various ages of technological development, the past, the present, and the future, and gave multiple insights into how design thinking leads to development and business growth.
I think people who would know how to harness this AI first knowledge into your jobs, I think those guys will survive and those guys will thrive. I mean, you will survive, of course, right? But the people who will really thrive in the next decade are the people, I think, who would use AI.
The festival culminated with another set of very well-attended masterclasses by Ms. Shweta Bhadral, journalist and digital content specialist Dainik Bhaskar, and RJ Devangana, radio jockey and anchor Red FM, where they shared important insights from the journalism and the audio spaces and talked about strategies to establish one's name in the industry. Overall, the festival provided a unique chance for students to participate in sessions led by experts and veterans that ignited conversations on diverse subjects ranging from journalism and design to animation, public relations, advertising, communication, and digital marketing. The festival ended with a great learning experience and interactions. With the same enthusiasm and excitement, we are looking forward to the next edition of JLU International Festival of Media and Design with video journalist Anushka Namdev, Shruti Bonde, Lake City Live, Bhopal.